rise to our feet, ladies and
Kala
gentlemen. Make the
DJ,
applause louder.
DJ.
Thank you.
Turn up the music. Thank you. Keep on clapping now. Keep.
So the truth is, most creatives do not fail because they lack talent. They end up failing because they never change who they believe they are. The Bible is the most interesting book I've come across in this my short life on earth. And the originator of the Bible, we believe, is God himself. But God himself never started creation with tools. He started it with an identity. And it's evident when you read through the Bible as a Bible scholar, or you read through history as an historian. God didn't call David a slinger. For David to understand the power of his sling, God called him a king. When the message got to Gideon, for those who are Bible readers and Bible scholars, mighty man of valor. In fact, he argued with the angel. Before Peter ever understood what his mission was, Christ called him a rock. Today I'm not here to teach, even though they called it a keynote speech. I don't know if I'll call it a speech, but I'm here to share something that for us to grow, for us to be whoever or whatever we want to become, there has to be an identity change. Because in reality, talent can open a door, but it's identity that you build that will define you and what you walk through. My name is Kola Oshalusi. I'll have introduced myself as a photographer, but I think over time I've evolved beyond calling myself a photographer. So I'll start by standing on existing protocol and the introduction by the MCs. And I'll say I'm a photographer who built a company. Because this is the year of tax, so I'll not say the estimated value of our company, because we don't know who is here. Not you, sir. And beyond building Insignia, we've also been able to build sub-businesses. 9 years ago, precisely, we started the business of photography projects and the projects. And the idea was for us to begin to build creatives who understood and who are interested in building businesses. And for years, we've continually partnered with projects across Africa, developing creatives and building the creative ecosystem. Let's stand on our feet and give a resounding applause to Oluwaseyi and the Rare Magic team. Please, let's just rise on our feet. Sadly, if what you are is just a creative, and all you can do is create, you can only but create for a while. Creativity doesn't scale. Only structures can scale. I don't know if that makes anything sensible. Creativity doesn't scale. I was sharing with my brother back in the green room there, and we're talking about it. Do you know that as a photographer, you can only be in one place at a time? Does it make sense? How many people do you think works for Dangote? How many hours in a day do you think Dangote is able to use? Let me tell you how many hours. It is, if they are working hour, if they don't shut down their plant and they run shifts and then they do 24 hours. You know how many hours Dangote is working? Dangote is working 24 hours. Let's assume their shift is 3 shifts, 8 hours. 24 hours. Then the total number of staffs divided by 3 times 24 hours. That's how many hours Dangote is able to utilize. You can't meet him, sorry. Oh, labor. Because he's working on scale. So it's very interesting to say Dangote, see they find money, more fellow will be Dangote. But can you? And I've met Alaji a couple of times. I realized he only has one head, not 2. He has 2 legs. He has 2 hands. He's also bounded by the same law you are bounded by. You might have privileges, but what is built with the Dangote group is called scale. You think he's not a creative? A wedding for those who do July, August. So you either do destination wedding summer, then you come back to, for those who do fashion week around the world, September arouse the fashion season. So you do. End of January, you're already targeting Valentine. You are doing Valentine shoot promo. And then you're looking for those who will do proposal. And then some by chance will even get married in February. And then March, you are chilling. And then you're praying for people to do anything in April because you're not sure what's going to really happen in April. But you know Easter will happen. So you are hoping that people will do Easter. For those who do commercials, it's either you're shooting your campaign in December or most business start their calendar in March. So the whole of March, for those who are in that field, they're also shooting commercials. And it moves like that. Now, I realized that the problem I had with that, even though I have all of those calendar in my head, is I was always scared of the next job because I was thinking like the guy who needed the next job. I wasn't building. I was searching. I was wanting. I was waiting. And then I had a mind shift. And I realized that my first gift is that I'm a creative. Which means there is no dry season that I can't create. All seasons are for me to create. And then I started thinking like a CEO. I had to create a design structure where for everything I create, there must be a market. Does it make any sense? And that was what changed the narrative. That's how we built businesses. That's how we built structures. You must step into the CEO identity. Not just as somebody who is a photographer or a videographer and they are calling you for a job, but someone who understands that now you have responsibilities. Because it says, to whom much is given, a whole lot more is expected. Now, the moment you become a CEO, not just a creative, you begin to think differently. You're thinking of who will take care of your financials, who will take care of your legal conflicts, who will take care of your day-to-day managing and running of the business, who will take care of you yourself that is doing the thinking, who takes care of your equipment. The reality is we forget one thing. We are all businessmen. The only difference between us and the guy that works in a bank or runs a consulting firm or runs a conglomerate is our product is the art. So why do we treat it like a hobby and not a product for sale? 2020 all the way till now has taught us something. In the history of humanity, man has not desired visual materials like they are demanding now. In fact, for those who are in tech, after fintech, the only tech that is succeeding is social tech. If it's not Instagram, it's Twitch. If it's not Twitch, it's Twitter. If it's not... In fact, the one that you all fear the most, that you think is changing anything, which is the generative AI, is based on visual material. What does that tell you? You hold the power that defines the world. Think like a CEO. So business, please bear this with me. Bear this with me. And I'm not forcing it into anybody. But when you do something for a while, you get some level of clarity. For those who understand, creatives are spiritualists. Because what you build, what you sell, a lot of times is what people don't see and they conceptualize. And then you bring it to life. So your process is from the inner space. And what does that mean? As a creative, you're spiritual. So whatever you worship, whatever you believe, you must be into it. Because the depth of your creativity lies in your spirituality. And not until you can explore that you begin to understand the power of who you are as a creative. So to wrap this up, I need us to understand one thing. For you to become the CEO, for you to have the mind shift, you must change your identity. It's exciting for us to gather in a place like this, but it will be a disaster for us to live the way we came. 2026 is a beautiful year. It depends on what you're listening to. If you listen to the confusion that I started at the beginning of this year, then you'll be confused. But if you change your mind shift and your mindset, the sky is just the beginning. As a creative, you need to understand something. That God has made you to lead. God has built you to decide. And because he built you to decide, he has built you to build. You must begin to change your mind shift and your mindset. The simple advice is this. If all you know how to do is to create, find somebody to do the business. If all you know how to do, and this is important, is to create, find somebody to do the business. If you think you know how to do the business and create structures, find somebody to create. Does it make sense? The moment you stop seeing yourself, you stop seeing yourself as just a creative, is the moment you start seeing yourself as a stewarder, a builder, and a leader.